What is going on, YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today we have another matchup from our Showdown, which is round 4. And it's actually Vader Control taking on Han Green. So yeah, like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But let's kind of get into it. So I think we've had Vader before on the channel, but we'll kind of do a quick recap. Vader has an action for 1 resource, and you exhaust the card, obviously. If you played a villainous card this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit and a base. And on the deploy side, it is a 5/8 that when you attack, you may deal 2 damage to a unit. Pretty good. Could possibly take out a 7 defense. Han, on the other hand, kind of like the ramp, but you don't really get the ramp. So action, you exhaust this card, put a card from your hand into play as a resource and ready it. At the start of your next action phase, defeat a resource you control. So like I said, for the round, you get to kind of get a ramp out of it, which is pretty nice. Helps you early on in the games to play bigger cards or even get your leader deployed a turn sooner. And then on the deployed side, it is a 4/6. Then on the attack, you put the top card of your deck into play as a resource and ready it. At the start of your next phase, you defeat a resource you control. So yeah, we have early game with the Viper drone to kind of get some hand peeking, and then a Battlefield Marine. Get some damage there, get a trade out of the way, kind of clearing the board that way. Try and pull out the Millennium Falcon, immediately getting open fired. Vader Control is one of those decks. I've played Vader Control actually, and it kind of fits my playstyle where I like playing prison type decks. It just likes to kind of control your opponent's board while you slowly putting cards out there and then just kind of hitting your opponent until they have nothing left to go. Han, on the other hand, I haven't really seen a lot of play for it, but I know yellow is really good on keeping things either exhausted, and having green, you have ways kind of using some ramps, some extra good cards to play other cards, which is kind of nice. And once again, we get the Millennium Falcon being hit with another event card. In this case, I Am Your Father. And keep in mind, if he would have said no to that, then the Vader party gets to draw 3 cards, and that's kind of nice, getting those extra draws sometimes. So we're going into the next phase. Han still has the initiative. And I think at this point, he's sitting currently at 5. And we got here Sparks of the Rebellion. This is a card I always forget about, truth be told, because I don't get a chance to really build a lot of just yellow stuff. But for 2 resources, you look at your opponent's hand and you get discard a card from it. Not bad. It gives you hand knowledge, and then you also get rid of a problematic card, or at least a card you know will be problematic in the future. And we see he got rid of a takedown, if correct. Sorry, that's Power of a Dark Side, not takedown. All right. So we got 6 resources on both sides, and well, Han now has 7. Han can come out this turn regardless of that additional kind of ramp action. So we got to deploy here. Force Choke will deal 5 damage to Han, but Han player will get a draw off this. And because Force Choke is a villainous card, we know the next action Vader will probably get rid of it. But at least Han's getting the extra damage out there when he can. Yeah, Vader just kind of sniping it right off the bat. Han being a 4/6, Force Choke does 5 damage, yeah. Good, that's good resource mechanic too. Like for 3 resources, you got rid of that card. Bringing out here, if I call this a New Hope. Or sorry, Home 1. I don't know why I said New Hope. But Home 1, which is a Restore card, Restore 2, and then each friendly unit gets a Restore 1 as well. But what's great with this one is that it allows you to play a card from your discard pile, and it costs 3 less, which is perfect for Millennium Falcon. And then he immediately was able to kind of get the attack off with Millennium Falcon as well. Because Millennium Falcon, when it comes into play, it readies itself, or it enters play ready. So here we got the cleanup on the resources, now going to the next phase, and we got, Vanquish, getting rid of the Hope 1, so that way you can't maximize on Restore. Getting Vader to deploy here is pretty nice. So when Vader gets, if Han can't do anything to Vader to kind of keep it in quote unquote check, we will see Vader doing 5 damage to the base and then 2 to the Millennium Falcon. We are getting a U-Wing reinforcements here, which can be really good, especially if you have a lot of like mid-range cost cards to low cost cards. But it does search the top 10 cards of your deck, and you put up to 3 units with a total combined cost of 7. So let's see what we got pulled here. See a couple options there. So we're getting the Syndicate Lackeys come out, which is Ambush 5/4, followed up with a Guido, which potentially these 2 cards alone could take out Vader. So we're going to do 5 damage to Vader, which will do a trade with the Syndicate Lackey. But you're at least putting 5 of that damage onto Vader right off the bat, which is really good. Vader at that point only has 3 remaining resources. Or sorry, I'm not sure why I said resource, but 3 remaining health. Vader going 5 to the base, and where's he going to put the other 2? Taking out Guido. Now, clearly chose not to do Guido's effect. So when defeated, you may discard a card from your deck. If it's not a unit, you deal 2 damage to a ground unit. Yeah, so he chose not to worry about that. Sitting at 8 resources for the current. Getting 3 damage out with Millennium Falcon, very nice. He did pay the resource to keep on board, which is great. The trade from Millennium Falcon, it's like if it has damage, you could choose not to pay the resource and it bounce back to your hand, and then you can just replay it and attack with it afterwards. But Open Fire will completely take care of it, so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. Using Han to get the energy ramp here, sorry, resource ramp here. Vader getting the attack in for 5 damage. With 5 open resources, kind of just holding on, seeing what his opponent could play to kind of react to that. We got Hope 1 coming right back out with Home 1 coming back out with another Millennium Falcon following it shortly afterwards. And we got 3 damage with a pass here, so it looks like Vader had nothing there to deal with those cards yet. They did take initiative, correct? The token didn't switch sides. I'm not really sure what's going on there. So 9 resources, looking pretty good right now. My best go get the swing of Vader before anything can happen. Deal 2 damage to one of the other units. Straight up paying 8 for a Palpatine. Yeah, that's pretty good. You get to deal 6 damage off the bat to see how you just in total. And it was sent all to Hope 1. That way, when Vader attacks now, you can take it out. So I think the strat here would be to swing of Hope 1 before Hope 1's gone and get the Restore 2 off it. Yeah, swinging 7 damage. 7 damage here. Getting the Restore off. Putting Vader to 26. Getting 5 damage here. And this would technically take care of Hope 1 now, which would be... Yep, there it goes. So now Millennium Falcon doesn't have any form of heal. And we get additional 3 damage there. Following that up. Putting it at 29 to 14. And really, Vader's pretty much tapped out when it comes to their resources. But Han still has all of the resources ready. So they can play anything they want to start to kind of get a board ready to go for the following step. Technically, they could probably... I don't know if... Yep. Okay, well, that works too. Syndicate Lackey to take out that. And then Admiral. Yeah, so Vader just kind of took the yeah, you got this game. We'll just go ahead and go to the next game, game 2. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to that game 2. So we've done some sideboarding, and now we're kind of going into the mulligans or checking hands and before we do resources. And like always, if your decks you guys play, let me know in the comments down below, like what you do a little bit different. Like I've played Vader Control a bit. I did enjoy it. I took it to an event, and I feel like half the people there were playing either an Ida Control or a Vader Control, and it was just a lot of mirror matches for the entire time. Kind of disgusting. Did not like that at all. Felt like it was a little bit too slow of a gameplay, and maybe kind of sit back and switch back over to like more mid-range aggro decks for a bit. So we're starting off on round 2 with the card. If I speak too fast, it sounds like I'm saying something different. But Inferno 4, which allows you to scry top 2 cards of your deck, and then you could just put them either on top of the deck, bottom deck, however you want to do it. That way you're drawing into your next phase cards you want to see. And it looks like we did see another Spark Rebellions kind of out during that phase as well, and getting rid of a Super Laser Blast. All right, swinging with the Inferno 4, doing 2 damage there. It looks like we just got a pass from there. It looks like the Han player had nothing that they wanted to play or could play in that moment. So we're going to the next phase. We're sitting at 4 resources each right now. And keep in mind, technically, depending on what we see, this could be a very interesting turn when it comes to Han player. Oh, so now we have an ambush coming out. Which actually, truth be told, until he played that card, I had no idea this card existed. And that's kind of my fault for not experimenting more with the spaceships when it comes to yellow, where I've been building a lot more like red, blue, red, green stuff. But this is just ambush 3-4, using to get rid of the Inferno 4. And then we got a Citadel hitting the board afterwards. Going into next phase. Yeah. So now we'll have 5 resources. Sorry, this is the turn. It could be very interesting. Han, because Han has like I said earlier, the ability to kind of put a resource down, which then allows him to be able to deploy the leader. So it's like waiting on the action. And it's kind of hard right now for me to realize. Okay, so Han does have initiative right now. Oh, yeah. So this is very similar to Spark of Rebellion. I think his name is Brody, actually, for some reason. Yeah. It's a 3-3, but when played, look at opponent's hand, discard a non-unit card from it. So you kind of get rid of those important, event cards, which in this case, Super Laser. Very good. Sentinel ship taking out the other ship. Not sure if that was a initiative or a pass. That was okay. That was a initiative, and then we had a takedown, taking out the unit. So now we're in phase 6, or not phase 5, 6 resources. Getting the extra resource out of the way right now. So now we're sitting at 7 resources for the Han player. Swinging with 3 damage with the Sentinel ship. And we got another U-Wing coming out. So now we get to search top 10 cards of the deck for 3 cards. We'll see what we hit. I'm a bit confused. But it was taken out right away. So he played Luke. Huh. I didn't know that was an interaction you could do, where since it's not being cast from the hand, it doesn't go up in cost. It's like, so what we're looking at is a yellow-green Han, which means Luke from hand, I guess, would cost 9, but I guess you could play with the U-Wing reinforcements just fine. Did not expect that play. But it was immediately, powered dark side. So that's kind of unfortunate. Almost feels like a waste of 7 resources when that happens. So we are in the next phase, or next phase. Still no deploys yet. We know Vader can come at this turn as well now. Let's see what Han does here. But he's looking to play the reinforcement walker. But no, he ends up playing the Millennium Falcon, which always good cards. It's a guaranteed 3 damage unless somehow it gets taken out using stuff from an event card. And yeah, powered dark side would do it. It's one of those things like I said earlier, I've played Vader Control before, and it just feels really good. It looks like they took initiative. So he deployed Vader, get the 5 damage out, and then played, I always forget what that card's called, but it allows you to search your deck for a card, add it to your hand. You do not need to reveal that card, which is crazy. So it's kind of a good way to kind of accept the next turn, especially in this case where Han took the initiative. Search your feelings. That's what it's called. Okay, I had to double check. All right, so let's see here. I said 8 resources each. Han is deploying now. Now, I figured Vader would just swing into it and take it out using its additional effect. I don't know if that was a bait, so he wouldn't take damage to the base, but instead kind of like hitting it on Han instead. Yeah, so we're paying 8 resources for the reinforcement walker, which, like I said earlier, like I assumed the Han was kind of like a way of getting Vader to get the attack out right then and there, so that way we're not weakening the reinforcement walker. But with 5 resources, Vanquish will just take care of it naturally. It is one of those things like you have to I feel like to take out Vader control, you need to be able to, which is what he's done so far. It's kind of like peek the hand, take out the problematic cards, but you still need to go aggro enough where if they hit a card, you still have other cards on board. This. Okay, so we're playing another U-Wing. And the problem here, depending on what he could pull, Vader could probably take out 2 cards with 1 attack. But I do see a Leia in that top 10. So if you can play the Leia, which would then exhaust the Vader. So he has 2 cards in hand right now. Yeah. So we got Vader out. Sorry, we got Leia out, which means Vader's getting exhausted, which then kind of helps protect the other cards, which is very nice. Well, Avenger will deal with one of those cards, but the other 2 cards was a Battlefield Marine, and then we have the Ezra, which is a card I don't really see much when it comes to our videos. But when this unit completes an attack, look at the top card of your deck. You may play it, discard it, or leave it on top of your deck, which is pretty nice. Well, Avenger coming out, hitting the Leia. And then when Avenger attacks next turn, it's going to deal 8 damage, and then it will make your opponent get rid of another unit, which is just crazy. Unless we play Change of Heart. Yeah, that's a good one. So this allows him to pretty much take one of his opponent's units, and then at the end of the phase, at the start of the regroup phase, its owner takes control of it. So Vader could still swing into the Battlefield Marine and then take out Ezra right off the bat. But so we do a force choke, which allows the Han player to get a draw. Ooh. I wonder if they drew into that because that was really good. We got 6 coming out. Vigilance, very nice. In this case, I assume the mill part, and yeah, okay. So we're milling 6 here, and then we remove the threat on the board. Vigilance gets a swing out here. Unfortunately, Vigilance won't get rid of Vader, which is very nice because it does specify a non-leader unit they control. Nine resources for Vader. I don't actually know if Han's also at 9 or if they kind of slow down on their resourcing. Let's see here. One. Kind of hard to see with the sliding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they have 9. Okay. Getting the swing with the Avenger. Getting the swing with Vader. No, sorry. He got a little ahead of himself. We got some options. I see there's options to kind of peek the hand and get rid of it. Yeah, okay, so we're going with the Brody again. Yeah, get rid of the takedown. Yeah, get rid of the takedown. Play Palp, fry out the Brody. This is okay. Got a Bright Hope out in play. Vader swinging and then dealing 2 damage to Bright Hope. So this is, I think, in the audio, it sounded like he did specify the 2 damage to Bright Hope, but I guess there was some confusion that happened here, and the damage went to the base instead. He is, because of the confusion, he is sitting at 25 instead of 23, and at this point, any Vader or Palpatine attack is considered lethal. Like, he has a Sentinel for space with the Avenger. And here we have a, I didn't pull that card, but it's a card that your opponent randomly will discard a card from their hand. But here, oh, it was Cunning. It was Cunning, that's what it was. So he exhausted 2 units, so he exhausted Vader, he exhausted Palpatine, and then an opponent discards a random card from their hand. And here we went with the just go in game 2, go to game 3. So now we're into game 3. The Han player. Oh, I messed up on the edit. My bad. The only thing that happened in phase 1 was the Death Stormtrooper coming out. So we have 3 damage hitting on to Han's base now, going into the next regroup, which is phase 4, which hasn't been really good for resources, which hasn't been really strong for Han yet. The only thing they've done so far is that they've been able to play a resupply on the last phase, which did now put them at 5 resources compared to Vader's 4. So we're debating about 3 here. Another resupply, which puts them at 6. And now we have a Sentinel hitting the board as well. Han is coming out to play. Yeah, I would say swing 3 at... Actually, yeah, I think he swung at base. Yeah, he did. Out of curiosity, how's that word? Put the top... Yeah, it's unfortunate you have to do that. I wish Han's deploy side said you may, because like in a situation like that where it's like it's end of the turn, Um, it's not necessary, but unfortunately, because the way it's worded, it doesn't say you may. It says put the top card of your deck. Power Dark Side will take care of Han. Yeah, Blue's very good at doing that. The blue has what is it? Power Dark Side, Takedown, and Vanquish. So different. They all cost different, but then they have different like gradual effects. One's just the opponent removes one, then you choose 5 or less, and then you choose whatever. We did get Han out here, which is a 6/6, which Han has the ability to shoot first. So it has ambush, but when attacking, the unit deals combat damage before the defender, which is really nice, especially when it depends on what you're kind of attacking. Getting one ping on Han right off the bat. So now Han's in threat range of like Force Choke or stuff like that. We got 6/8 on resources, 4-10 when it comes to damage on base. We got 6. Now we get back to 10-10. Paying 2 resources for Force Choke. Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. But Han player does get to draw a card off that. There it is. Two resources, yeah, for Spark Rebellions. Very nice. Wow. They got 2 more takedowns in their hand. Or they have 2 takedowns in their hand. Can't 100% see. Okay, one was Vigilance. Nice. Like I mentioned in a previous video, when we were recording these videos, I wasn't aware of the glare in that particular spot of the store. Seeing at 10-13 with Han with a ton of resources still available. Playing the Syndicate Lackey. And yeah, okay, one of the takedowns, yep. That could just be a way of just getting rid of them ahead of time. That way they're not in their hand anymore. Which is kind of smart play. I think I would do it the same, like, you know they're there. So just play cards at the roughly close to the end of your turn to kind of get them to burn this up, then you can take initiative again. Got the Reinforcement Walker coming on play. Ooh, that's a good card to keep. And they end up keeping it, yeah. Vader has been deployed. And the problem here, I feel like Han has no other real plays at this point. Oh, we got I'm Your Father. Does he choose to take the 7 damage? If he does, then Vader can take out the Walker. Okay, so he chose not to, allowing the Vader player to get the 3 draws. The problem was just one Power Dark Side will take care of the AT-AT, or not the AT-AT, sorry, the Reinforcement Walker. So you gotta be careful, like when you allow them to draw so many cards, they may draw into a card that can just deal with it. I assume what's happening here, Vader's gonna swing to the base and then put the 2 damage onto. Oh no, he's just going straight into it, which keeps Vader at 1 health now. Make an opening, very nice. So this will technically finish off the Reinforcement Walker while also healing the Vader by 2 points. Just send the actual 3 points of damage for passing here. So we're seeing at 8 resources on the Vader side. I think that makes it 10 resources on the Han side. And we're seeing an 8-16 when it comes to damage, with Vader leading on units on their board. And it is 1 unit in ground and 1 unit in space. Got Han coming here with ambush to finish off the Vader and takes no damage, which is just really great because of Han's ability. Hitting with 3 points here. The Han player sitting at 3 resources. getting Ezra on the board. So now if they play at power, oh well, just take out Ezra with open fire. Feels really good. Then 3 more for a Viper droid. We kind of get to peek at the hand. We saw a couple cards there. The Vader knows what might be coming out next turn. I think I said 9 resources last turn, but Vader's at, no, I didn't. Vader's at 8, and I do not think the Han player resource. If he did, I missed that part. Avenger hitting the board, which will take out Han. Yep. It's like he's checking his discard pile right now. I think he did resource. Getting the home 1 out on the board, which, like we mentioned earlier, will allow him to play another unit from his discard pile with cost 3 or less. (14-22). Viper drone going to also swing into the base here. And we pass right here. So here's interesting. So he isn't lethal when it comes to the Avenger. Home 1's best bet here probably would be to swing home 1 into, I don't think it would even beat Avenger. If you can find a way to exhaust Avenger, allow him to kind of stay in the game a little bit longer, or just do change of hearts entirely, and that works. And that kind of puts him in puts Vader almost in a threat range here. We got a 7 and 8, which is 15 points, in Ezra, which I think is 2, 3. Ezra's a 3, so we swing here first. Ezra is going to need to trade with the Viper drone. Or just play Leia and then exhaust it. Yeah, that's very good. And then we got 8 resources for super laser defense. Oh man, that's really hurtful. We ended up just passing there. Paying for a good chunk here for another home 1. Yep. Getting Ezra back on the board as well. Very nice. That hurts. That hurts. Back to back super laser blast. Yeah, because like home 1 costs 8 as well. So like, I mean, that kind of ended their turn as well. So it almost feels like it feels bad when that happens. All right, let's see how this one goes. Spark Rebellion, kind of see what's in the hand. Get rid of an Avenger. Palpatine hits the board. Nothing to hit, which is fine, but Palpatine is a 6. This will allow him to have something for the following turn as well. And the problem here is that if... Oh, interesting. Okay, I was not expecting that. I wonder if they took initiative. Which was smart, because like you need to take initiative so you can have the first action. But the problem here is now he's at 1 health point away from his base being destroyed. I think we did see a Leia in his hand earlier, so he could play Leia to exhaust Palpatine. Six, 7? Oh, for another U-Wing. Okay. Kind of give the options of variety here to play up to 3 cards. whose total cost is 7 combined or less. Han, okay, that's a good one. Allows just takes Palpatine out right off the bat. Vader paying 3 for Power Dark Side, which is a villainous card, which allows Vader to get his proc off, and that is game 3, which allows Vader to take this one away from a 2-1 victory. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Keep in mind there's buttons on below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But yeah, that's it. Bye.